is being challenged to institute a legal framework that makes it mandatory for Kenyans to make contributions into pension schemes as a means of safeguarding their retirement future. With a population of over 40 million, only an estimated 2.1 million Kenyans actively contribute towards pension schemes, and Provident pension scheme providers now worry that this could affect people's ability to cope with post-retirement age. Alexander Forbes says the low saving rates, lack of preservation of benefits, and even lower levels of awareness are among challenges facing the pension industry and the ability to save for retirement. Currently, only the National Social and Security Fund makes it mandatory for employed persons to contribute, but now providers want that extended to those in the informal sector as well.
The aim should be to get a large percentage of people who are in some kind of gainful employment taking up some kind of retirement arrangement. And that is why Mbao is actually quite a good start, but a lot may need to be done on Mbao to also assist it. Because in the end, yes, you contribute your 20 shillings every day, but if inflation is running at 13% or 19%, that your 20 shillings will not be too much.
Now, further afield, the 22nd World Economic Forum on Africa opened in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia yesterday, bringing together hundreds of African leaders, industry and business experts, as well as members of the civil society, media and arts from over 70 countries. In the opening session, African Development Bank President Donald Kaberuka urged African leaders to ensure that wealth from commodity sectors gets to the people through agriculture, healthcare and education. Now, the forum, which ends today, is aimed at showcasing the continent's potential as a destination to foreign investment, which critics say has hampered tight government controls as well as hostile business environment. Former UN Secretary General and Chairman for a Green Revolution in Africa, Kofi Annan, called on African states to empower the youth.
So, again,
for me, firstly, it's about time we put the African experience in some places that.
And now time to look at how your money is doing at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. A look at the day's top gainers. eGoods is up 9.48%, selling at 31 shillings and 75 cents. Unga Group coming closely, up 8.18%, selling at 11 shillings and 90 cents. Standard Group still on winning ways, up 3.23%, selling at 24 shillings, while Safaricom Limited, who released their results just yesterday, up 2.99%, selling at 3 shillings and 45 cents. National Bank released their results still in the week, up 2.31%, selling at 19 shillings and 95 cents. A look at the day's top losers now. Access Kenya down 4.17%, selling at 4 shillings and 60 cents. Total Kenya down 2.67, selling at 14 shillings and 60 cents. CFC Insurance Holdings is down 2.67, selling at 7 shillings and 30 cents, while Equity Bank, who's announced plans to list offshore, down 2.44, selling at 20 shillings. TPS Serena, the owners of Serena Hotels, are down 2.22%, selling at 44 shillings. I look at the All Share Index. Currently, we're doing 78.36 points, while the 20 Share Index is at 3,589.43, hasn't moved much from yesterday's figures. I look at the total shares traded as we speak now, 27 million shares, 816,400 shares, while the equity turnover is at 608 million shares, 363,340. Total deals as we speak right now are 1,092. Very quickly, a look at the day's FTSE 15 index. We are down 0.26%, valued at 107.74, while the Kenya FTSE 25 index is down 0.19, valued at 105.42. Of course, a quick recap of the day's top gainers. eGoods up 9.48, Unga Group 3.18, Standard Group up 3.23, Safaricom 2.99, while National Bank up 2.31. Of course, I'll be giving you more market data as it progresses, as being a live show. As they trickle in, I'll be giving you those numbers. But quickly, time for our afternoon chat right now, and I'm joined by Eric Mule from Autodesk. But you're free to correct me in terms
Yes.
I didn't get that correct. And we're looking at counterfeits, really, and the use of probably not accurate use of software, as it were, and fake software. And just yesterday on the show, we were still talking on a similar issue on counterfeits. But looking at the software industry, you announced an amnesty for those people who are illegally using what doesn't belong to them. How is that going?
Thank you very much, Bonnie.
Yes.
Let me start first by correcting you. I work for Worldsview Technologies,
Yes.
the Africa distributor for Autodesk.
And so other way around.
Yes, it's the other way around. And Autodesk is a 3D design and engineering and entertainment software. And it's normally used in different industries, from architectural, engineering, construction, automotive, even in manufacturing. Basically, if you need to design anything, you can use Autodesk products to design. In terms of piracy, as you mentioned, basically Autodesk has invested heavily in East Africa.
Yes.
We've just opened up an office here in Kenya. And what we're trying to do is create awareness, try and educate our customers on the advantages of using legal software.
Yes.
Obviously, some of the advantages include getting upgrades. You don't risk having any information lost or losing any data. So basically, that's what we're trying to do right now in the market.
Now, Eric, of course, the use of pirated software is prevalent in Africa. Why is it the case? Is it that software is too expensive, or where's the disconnect?
Well, based on the research we've done, we've found out that it's lack of awareness. And also the issue of pricing, we've actually tried to reduce the prices. The Africa prices for Autodesk products are actually a third of what we have in the States. So
But
clearly,
the quality remains.
And the quality, the product is the same, is that we have a preferred price for Africa. So we've obviously made the product very affordable to the consumers. And now what we're trying to do is just create awareness. We also recruiting channel partners. These are the people who will sell directly to the end users, training them and making sure that they address the customer needs. Yes.
Now, in terms of course, you've made a lot of noise about the people pirating, and other companies still in this industry who are making software have also been making noise about people using fake or pirated softwares. Is there support from the authorities, from the government?
Yes, we're getting a lot of support from the Kenya Copyright Board. We're working very closely with them, and they're ready to take legal action and also enforce and ensure that people are using pirated software. Maybe there's a bit more to be done in terms of the intellectual property laws in Kenya. That's an issue that needs to be addressed to ensure that we get people paying for legal software.
And incidentally, just talk of intellectual property rights in Kenya. How do we compare with, say, South Africa?
South Africa, just to give you an example, the number of illegal users are at about 40%. In Kenya, we're looking at 80%.
Wow.
So you can see there's a lot to be done in terms of the intellectual property laws, in terms of creating awareness and just communicating out there what the advantages of using legal software is. Yes.
Who develops your software? Do you have in-house developers, or you contract techies all over the place to come up with this kind of products?
Autodesk has invested heavily on research and development. We have a team that works continuously to improve the software.
Yes.
And every year we release a better version, an improved version. For example, this year we just released, for example, AutoCAD 2013, which is
That's
more
for
improved.
architecture.
That is for, I would say it's not for architecture. It cuts across anyone doing design work, drafting work and designing. So you can be an engineer, you can be a designer. It's basically to do your drawings. It's a software that does your drawings. Yeah, so we released the latest version, and every year we release a new version, a better version, an improved version. So we are continuously working to improve the quality of our products. Yeah.
And of course, Autodesk, in our earlier conversation, you mentioned it's an American company.
Yeah.
How much of it, in terms of development or content generation, comes from Kenya? or Africa?
Africa is very key for Autodesk. In fact, one of its strategies now is to focus on the developing countries, Africa being obviously in that category. And they're really taking a lot of attention. They're giving a lot of attention to Africa in terms of understanding what their needs are and how they can improve the products to fit the African needs. Yes.
Now, still on the issue of pirated, if you're to counter cost, how much in terms of losses are we talking about when you talk about pirated software? Not just for your company, but probably across the board.
Well, we're talking at about over 70%.
Wow.
It's huge. However, there are advantages of, as I said, of using legal software, and that's what we really want to focus on and show our customers the advantage of having a legal software and the benefits, because obviously it saves you on time. You get to be a bit more creative, innovative in terms of any designs that you're doing. And also if it's a manufacturer, for example, and you're designing, say, an engine, you can be able to do a digital prototype, and it saves on the amount of time you get to release a product to the market. Instead of having to do a physical prototype, you can actually have a digital prototype, check and see how well it works, and be able to evaluate it and build a good engine that you can release to the market. Yeah.
Now, talking about such magnitude of losses, you mentioned something interesting. In the month of April, you issued an amnesty to all those people using pirated software. How did that go?
The response was good. We got quite a number of customers who have converted to genuine software. We're still getting a lot of responses, customers wanting to legalize their software. And as I mentioned earlier, we had a very big event, a launch event last month, where we got together professionals, including engineers, architects, manufacturers, and basically talked to them and showed them the kind of products that we have. And they were quite excited with what we have to give, and we're getting quite a good response from the market. So the response is good. Yeah.
Now, is this a new trend in terms of curbing piracy and counterfeiting? Because really you're reaching out to them, you're saying, hey, bring back all that and let's work on you getting something genuine. Is that a new approach that probably other corporates and probably the government can engage in, not just in software technologies, but in other forms of businesses that are probably prone to counterfeiting and piracy?
Yes, I think it's the best approach. Obviously, we also need to look at our economy.
So what do you tell them? Do you tell them just come, bring your software? How does it work? The
amnesty period was basically to tell people, look, we're giving you an opportunity to come and purchase a genuine software. We'll not take any legal action against you. Because as I said, going forward, we'll start engaging the Kenya Copyright Board to enforce and to take legal action on the illegal users. Because it's an approach that has to be taken to try and curb that problem.
Interesting. Now, before we just get back to the interview, of course, I'll want to know where Autodesk is heading to in that kind of an industry. But first, a quick look at how your money is doing at the Nairobi Securities Exchange right now. Currently, eGads is still up 9.48%, selling at 31 shillings and 75 cents, while Unga Group Limited is up 8.18%, selling at 11 shillings. Standard Group is up 3.23%, selling at 24 shillings, while Safaricom Limited is up 2.99, selling at 3 shillings and 45 cents. National Bank is up 2.31, selling at 19 shillings and 95 cents. Quick look at the day's top losers before we take a break will be Access Kenya, down 4.17, selling at 4 shillings and 60 cents. Total Kenya down 2.67, selling at 14 shillings and 60 cents. CFC Insurance Holdings down 2.67, selling at 7 shillings and 30 cents. While Equity Bank down 2.44, selling at 20 shillings. TPS Serena closes that group down 2.22, selling at 44 cents. Of course, I'll have more market numbers, our chat with Eric, and more stories coming up on the other side of the break.
There's so much to see on GoTV. Wow! Catch all the best sporting action, your family's favorites, nature's best, and all the fun and the games. It's good times.
Are you ready for the journey now?
You won't want to miss a thing. Go for digital quality local and international channels at an affordable price with easy installation.
GoTV is now available at a reduced price of 5,500. GoTV decoder is DVB T2 compliant. Offer valid while stocks last. Terms and conditions apply.
Go, go, go! GoTV!
A great day starts with Pampers Night. A great day starts with Pampers Night.
Because babies sleep better in Pampers. Pampers has a unique extra dry layer that absorbs wetness and distributes it evenly, keeping your baby up to 5 times drier all night long. For a great day. 1 Pampers equals 1 dry night. Endorsed by the Kenya Pediatric Association.
Someone who can do the dunks, the street ball, the crosses and everything, and still play real basketball. That's the main thing.
Welcome back. Now, the UNHCR has unveiled projects aimed at opening vocational programs for job training to young displaced Somalis. The move, the UNHCR says, has been informed by the fear of young Somali men who fled violence in Mogadishu ending up as pirates or joining extremist militia.
Is she able to make a living now?
Omar Sharif is lucky to be alive. He fled fierce fighting in Mogadishu 5 years ago and came to Al Amin camp for internally displaced people in Galkayo town. In Mogadishu, he managed the family restaurant but had to abandon it when the conflict intensified. To survive, Omar had to rely on manual jobs in the camp since he didn't have skills for professional employment. Together with other women in the camp, Omar's mother, Oliyo Mohammed Ali, had to find work. She got a job as a garbage collector to supplement Omar's earnings. Omar enrolled in a skills training program provided by UNHCR in the camp. Along with 19 other boys, he trained to be a welder, while others took up carpentry in a 6-month course. There are more than 40,000 displaced persons in Galkayo, according to UN, and the UNHCR says vocational skill training is a source of hope for the youth as well as their families, and they will not only support themselves but also contribute to the local economy.
It is a gain for society, because without this perspective, without the possibility to have a vision and to look forward to a better future, these boys might have ended up in the hands of the pirates or of extremist militias.
At the end of the course, the graduates receive a certificate and they are ready to join the job market.
All impressive. Now to a story that is trending the world over. A massive trading bet boomeranged on JP Morgan Chase and Company, leaving the bank with at least $2 billion in trading losses, and its chief executive James Dimon with a rare black eye following a long run-in with what some called the King of Wall Street.
JP Morgan Chase, the biggest US bank, has revealed a surprise trading loss of at least $2 billion on complex investments made by its traders. Chief Executive Jamie Dimon blamed errors, sloppiness and bad judgment for the losses and warned that it could get worse.
We're reducing that hedge, but in hindsight, the new strategy was flawed, complex, poorly reviewed, poorly executed and poorly monitored.
The risky hedging strategy could cost the bank an additional $1 billion. JP Morgan shares dropped 7% in after-hours trading, and other bank shares also fell. Goldman Sachs, Citigroup and Bank of America suffered heavy losses in electronic trading after the market closed on Wall Street. However, Mr. Diamond said these were egregious and self-inflicted mistakes, adding it was not the ideal way to run the business.
Now back to our chat with Eric Mule, talking about piracy and the use of genuine software. Now, Eric, as I mentioned earlier, Africa is prevalent to the use of pirated stuff. Many people you talk to, they'll say genuine stuff is very expensive. Is your company looking at probably creating products that are targeted for this kind of segment, this part of the market?
Yes, we already, as I said earlier, we already have a preferred price for Africa, and we also have, for example, AutoCAD LT, which is like a lighter version of AutoCAD, which is obviously cheaper. So we are obviously looking at bringing products that are cheaper to the market. Yeah.
So there's something for the African market that we don't have to go for the genuine, or we don't have to pirate.
Yes.
Still on internet business, we've been plagued by shortages and outages in internet and disconnections. How does that affect your business, especially to the people that you're selling this stuff to?
Well, the beauty about our software is you don't have to connect to the internet to use it. You can basically load, once you buy the software, you get it on a DVD or a memory stick, load it to your machine, and you can be able to access it without internet connection. The only time you need internet connection is maybe you need online support. You have a problem and you need Autodesk to assist you online, then you need internet to connect to connect online to Autodesk. Yeah.
So you are not affected by all
We are
this?
not really affected by internet connection.
Of course, I always ask everyone who comes on this show, what's your market share and who are you competing with?
Well, our market share, I would put it at about 90% in terms of the various industries that we play in. The advantage with Autodesk is that we play in a wide range of industries compared to our competitors.
What are these industries?
From architecture, engineering, manufacturing, mining, automotive. It's almost anywhere that you need to design, you need our software, and we have a solution for that.
So you have one for Talo Oil in Turkana?
Exactly. Talo Oil is actually, I know they've purchased our software in Uganda, and we're just about to maybe close a deal with them, I hope. Yeah.
Annual turnover?
For Autodesk, we're talking about 30 billion dollars. Yeah. Yeah.
From where you sit, where do you see one Autodesk heading to, and now broadly African companies in software development, where do you see them heading to?
In terms of Autodesk, as I said, we are continuously improving, trying to come up with software that will solve customers' needs. One of the things that we're doing in Africa is also working very closely with students. We are working with educators to ensure that they have a syllabus that covers software usage by the students, so to prepare them before they go out there to the market. And also another development is, as I mentioned, obviously, is the digital prototyping. This is a very good idea that where you can be able to develop something digitally, visualize it, and simulate. You can actually test how it works digitally without having to build it. You can imagine back in the days, I remember there was a time Kenya was trying to build a car, and we had to actually...
We still are trying to build a car.
Now with the digital prototyping, you can actually build a car using your computer, test it, test its performance without having to build the actual product. So by the time you're manufacturing, you're sure that whatever you're manufacturing is a product that can work. So I think that will save a lot on time. It's cheaper for manufacturers, and also it gives you an opportunity to be creative and innovative. Yeah.
Of course, you're a big company coming from America and all that. There are local software developers in Kenya.
Yes.
We're also trying to make genuine softwares, but a bit in a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Where do you think these companies go wrong?
Well, I think one of the biggest problems is not understanding the customer, the user needs. That's one of the biggest challenges, and also not engaging with the world out there, because one of the things we've tried to do is have a user online community where people from different parts of the world get to communicate through the internet, share ideas, get to know what's going on out there, and also try and see how your ideas can be used internationally. So I think it's an issue of being able to communicate and creating links out there to know what's going on. Yeah.
So there's a disconnect between actually what they put out and what the market needs.
Yeah.
Interesting. You mentioned something very important. You're partnering with local institutions in school. Do you see that as a game changer in terms of developing apps?
Yes, I think that will be a big changer, because you see, these students are willing to learn. They're very creative. Given access to our software, they can be able to do a lot. We've seen young guys coming up with very good ideas, very good concepts, good products. So with our software, they can actually be able to do a lot in terms of being creative. Yeah.
And looking at where the business is heading, everything is automated, and we're using one software or the other to run it.
Yeah.
Do you have provisions in your products to ensure that the young people that you're talking about, who are coming up with new ideas, can have room to improve on what already is there, or it's a locked system?
There is room for improvement, and Autodesk always has a link where you can actually go in and put in your suggestions. And most of the times, actually, the way we get to improve our software every year is by hearing what customers, listening to what customers have to say, getting what needs they have, and now putting that through and seeing how we can develop a product that can fit those needs. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, all the best, and there you have it. If you're using a pirated software, it's your chance. You've just been given amnesty. Walk to Autodesk or any other genuine software dealer and trade in. Now, thank you very much, Eric, for your time and for what you're doing in that kind of industry. Quick look at how your money is doing before we head into the weekend. eGads is still up 9.48%. doing 31.75. Unga Group is up 8.18%, selling 11 shillings and 90 cents. Standard Group is up 3.23, selling at 24 shillings, while Safaricom Limited is up 2.99, selling 3 shillings and 45 cents. National Bank is up 2.31 at 19 shillings and 95 cents. And the day's top losers now, Access Kenya down 4.17, selling at 4 shillings and 60 cents. Total Kenya down 2.67, selling at 14 shillings and 60 cents. CFC Insurance Holdings down 2.67 again, but this time at a price of 7 shillings and 30 cents. Equity Bank down 2.44, selling at 20 shillings, while TPS Serena down 2.22, selling at 44 shillings. Well, that is how your money is performing at the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Please book a date with us on KTN Business today later on in the evening for a concise look at other businesses making headlines in locally and the world over. My name is Boni Tunya. Do have a wonderful afternoon.